Namaskar. Very warm welcome to all the viewers and learners in this live interaction of CIET and NCERT. I am Renu Bhatt with you all and you are watching us live on PMeVIDYA channel, channel number 4. And apart from this channel, you are with us on our YouTube channels as well, that is NCERT Official, NCERT PMeVIDYA class number 4. And dear learner, this class is for English 4th standard students and the topic that we are going to discuss today in this specific session is a story, and it's a very beautiful story, and the title is Pinocchio. Who is Pinocchio and what he is doing in this particular story? And let me give you a spoiler, he is very naughty. So in this particular session we are going to learn about this particular story and about some new words. So we have joined by our experts, so without any further delay let's quickly meet her. You are Miss Deepa Upadhyay. Very warm welcome ma'am. स्वागत है आपका.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
And pleasure is all ours. And dear learners and viewers, ma'am is head mistress from Kendriya Vidyalaya sector 22nd, Rohini, New Delhi. And if you have any query related to this particular story or topic, you can reach out to us with all your queries and doubts if you have any. You can call us on our telephone number, that is 8800440559. Either you can drop a mail as well. Our email address is dth.class4@ciet.nic.in. And if you have joined us through our live streaming, then you have to go to the live chat box and then only you can drop your comment out there. Our expert will be more than happy to answer all your queries and doubts if you have any. So we want you to participate in this particular live interaction. So ma'am, let's quickly start this session. At the very beginning of this session, I would like to know about the content of this session, ma'am.
Okay, so today's chapter, as you have already told, it is Pinocchio. It is a story about a very naughty boy, and we are going to do story narration today. You will love the story, you will enjoy the story, and we will also learn some new words.
Right.
So shall we begin?
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, at the end of the chapter, my dear students, you must be able to know all these new words that we are going to learn in this session. And after that, you will be able to understand and enjoy the story. You should be able to narrate it to your students, your friends as well. And we are also going to learn some very important value here. So, shall we proceed, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, the words that you are going to learn today are carpenter, plain, queer, puppet, amazed and stiff. Let us see them one by one. You can see a picture here. It is a picture of a carpenter. And who is a carpenter? A carpenter is a person who makes things out of wood. इसको हिंदी में हम क्या कहते हैं मैम?
Is it बढ़ई?
Yes, exactly. इसको बढ़ई हम हिंदी में कहते हैं. और अगर हमारी कक्षा में बहुत अलग अलग लैंग्वेजेस के बच्चे हैं तो हम उनसे डिफरेंट नाम पूछ सकते हैं कि गुजराती में क्या कहते हैं, तेलुगु या तमिल में क्या कहते हैं. फॉर इंस्टेंस इनको हम गुजराती में कहते हैं सूथार.
ओके.
यस मैम.
तो हर भाषा में हम कह सकते हैं कि अलग अलग नामों से इन्हें पुकारा जाता होगा.
बिल्कुल, बहुभाषिकता का हम यहाँ पे प्रयोग कर सकते हैं कक्षा में. हम अपना अगला वर्ड देखते हैं. दिस इज प्लेन. एरोप्लेन वाला प्लेन तो सब बच्चे जानते हैं, लेकिन ये है कारपेंटर का प्लेन. दिस इज अ टूल दैट इज यूज्ड टू मेक वुड फ्लैट एंड स्मूथ. आप देख रहे हो कैसे इस पिक्चर में एक प्लेन नीचे दिख रहा है और उसके ऊपर वाली पिक्चर में उसको इस्तेमाल करता हुआ हमारा कारपेंटर है. नेक्स्ट पिक्चर हम देखते हैं. नेक्स्ट वर्ड है क्वियर. द वर्ड इज क्वियर. इट मीन्स समथिंग अनयूजुअल और स्ट्रेंज. अब आप मुझे मैम बताएंगे इस पिक्चर में आपको क्या अनयूजुअल दिख रहा है?
मैम, इस पिक्चर में अनयूजुअल ये है कि जनरली हमने देखा है कि चूहों की सिर्फ एक ही टेल होती है एंड इट हैज़ आई गेस सो मेनी टेल्स.
बिल्कुल सही, बिल्कुल सही आपने उत्तर दिया है. दिस इज अ क्वियर rat or mouse because it has so many tails and usually we see only one tail of a mouse. Let us move to the next word, that is puppet. ये तो हम सब ने देखा है और हमने बहुत varieties के puppets देखे हैं, but basically puppet is a model of a person or an animal usually moved with the help of strings. ये देखिए, ये हमारा अगला वर्ड है, that is amazed. You can see two very pretty girls here on the screen.
Right.
And इनके expressions क्या हैं?
Amazed.
They are amazed. They are very surprised. बहुत हैरान. Next one is stiff. Stiff is something that is very difficult to bend or something that is very firm. Like our body, it sometimes it becomes very stiff, especially in winters.
Yeah.
Okay. So now what is this?
It's a wig.
Yes, it is a wig. And इस word का भी use और इस जो wig है इसका use हम देखेंगे कि Pinocchio कैसे करता है. तो इट इज़ अ फॉल्स कवरिंग और फॉल्स और रियल हेयर. मैंने यहाँ रियल हेयर इसलिए लिखा है क्योंकि जो कवर बनता है समटाइम्स उसमें रियल हेयर भी यूज होते हैं और एट टाइम्स आपके नायलॉन के हेयर यूज होते हैं.
राइट.
तो अब मैं आपसे एक छोटा सा सवाल पूछूंगी. ये क्वेश्चन आपको बहुत ध्यान से पढ़ना है. यू हैव टू राइट द करेक्ट आंसर. एज बिग इज रिलेटेड टू ह्यूज. सो क्वियर इज रिलेटेड टू क्वीन, ग्रेट और स्ट्रेंज.
स्ट्रेंज.
यस. सो क्वियर मीन्स स्ट्रेंज. तो इसका सही आंसर है A. After that, next question is brush is related to a painter. In the same way, plane is related to police, doctor or carpenter.
Carpenter.
Exactly. Now let us enjoy the story. Once upon a time, an old carpenter bought a very queer piece of wood. As I've already told you, queer is something very strange. Now let us see what was strange about this wood. As he used his plane on it, you can see he is using his tool on it. He heard a little laughing voice say, "Stop, you're tickling me."
Okay.
The old man was puzzled by the voice because you know woods, they never make voice. They're non-living things. He
Ma'am,
said,
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you here.
Yes.
I just wanted to know about the meaning of tickling. What exactly tickling
okay,
is?
tickling means when you touch somebody and they start laughing.
Okay.
जिसको हिंदी में हम गुदगुदी कहते हैं.
Okay.
Okay. तो आपने क्या कभी किसी लकड़ी को tickling होते हुए देखा है?
No,
नहीं.
ma'am.
This is the strange thing about this piece of wood. The old man was puzzled and he thought this is not a regular wood. है ना? What should I do with this? He thought I'll make a puppet out of it. Okay. He set to work and as the puppet boy took shape, the old man, he must have a name also and he decided that he will call the puppet Pinocchio.
Okay.
So you get why he got this name Pinocchio? Okay. Now I have few questions for you. What did the farmer buy? The farmer bought a queer piece of bread or queer piece of wood.
It's square piece of wood.
Yes. What did the farmer decide to make? So the answer will be
Boy.
The farmer decided to make a puppet or a boy?
Boy.
A puppet, which eventually turned into a boy.
Boy.
Okay. Now let us proceed further. As soon as he finished making the eyes, the carpenter was amazed to see them move. Before the mouth was made, it began to laugh. Stop laughing, the old man said. Now you see, as the eyes were made, the eyes started moving, and Pinocchio, he started doing his naughty things. Now again I have two more questions for you. Give another word from the previous slide that means surprised.
So it's amazed.
It is amazed. Why do you think the farmer gave the puppet a name?
Because he was he wanted to give him a name because of being close to him.
Yes, because whatever he was making, he was attached to it and he wanted to give it an identity. Now
Right.
there's another related question. Why do you think your parents gave you a name?
Because of the identity.
Yes, because everybody needs an identity and name is something that gives you a distinct identity.
Right.
And it gives not only identity to people but to places also.
Right.
Okay. It did stop, but as soon as his back turned, it put out its tongue. Now who? Pinocchio. He started becoming more naughty. Okay. As its nose grew long, no sooner were its hands ready than it snatched off the carpenter's wig and put it on its own head. Okay.
Ma'am, why Pinocchio did that?
Maybe he liked the wig. Maybe the carpenter, he did not make hair of Pinocchio, or maybe he was just being naughty.
Maybe.
Yes. And then Pinocchio's nose grew longer. See, every time he is doing a naughty thing, his nose is growing longer and longer. Now let us see. What happened to Pinocchio every time he did something naughty or he lied? You can see the three pictures here on my screen. First, he has a small nose, then a little longer, and then a very long one. So why was this happening?
Because he is telling a lie, or he is doing something naughty.
He was being mischievous and he was doing naughty things. Okay. When its leg and feet were made. Now he is gradually on the verge of getting finished. He is about to be completed. When its leg and feet were made, they were too stiff to use. So the carpenter showed Pinocchio how to use them. Now the carpenter decided to send Pinocchio to school, but there Pinocchio did nothing but look for fun. He often ran away from school. Now you see that the carpenter, he must have been a very kind man, because first he made the puppet so lovingly, then when his body parts were stiff, he taught him how to use them, and then he also decided to send Pinocchio to school. So he must have been a very kind and thoughtful person. Okay. Now, but Pinocchio was his usual naughty self. He did not like school and he often ran away from school. Now, you tell me, the farmer decided to send Pinocchio to school. He must have been which kind of man?
He is a kind man.
Kind man. He must not have been rude, because he is not punishing him.
Right.
He was a kind man. He wanted something good to happen to Pinocchio, so he sent him to school. Why do you think Pinocchio ran away from school?
I guess because he didn't like that.
Yes. Could there be any other reason you can think of?
He wants to do naughty thing and he is not able to do all those things in school.
Okay,
Maybe.
this is from his point of view. Maybe children teased him because he was different.
Maybe because of his nose.
I mean, because of his nose, and because he was not a normal boy, he was made out of wood. So maybe children teased him also.
Right.
Or maybe he found his class very boring. That
Maybe.
could be the reason.
There's so many questions.
There can be so many reasons.
Okay.
Okay. Now, anyway, he was out of school. What do you think you would do if you were Pinocchio?
I would definitely not do any naughty thing in schools.
Okay. Would you like to study like
Yeah.
a good child?
Yeah.
Okay. This is what children should do. They should enjoy at school, but they should not bunk classes. Okay. Why don't you go to school? Asked the carpenter. Pinocchio told him a lie, and his nose started growing longer and longer. Each time he was rude to someone or told a lie, his nose grew longer. And finally, Pinocchio said, "I'm glad to be a real boy. I'll never lie again." Now, he became very uncomfortable with his very long nose, and then he decided that now I will not lie and I will be a good boy. So, this is an adapted story of Pinocchio. And what did we learn in this story? Can you tell me? What one thing did you learn from this story?
Ma'am, that our learner should not do any naughty or mischievous thing.
Yes.
Or should not tease anybody else.
Yes, we should not tease people. We should not tease people who help us. And there is some very important value that we have learned from this story. And can you frame some sentences using these clue words like respect, gratitude, grateful, helpful? Any two of your choice?
We need to be helpful and grateful,
Yes.
and we need to express our gratitude.
Yes, Pinocchio should have had gratitude towards whom? Towards the
Carpenter.
And we should always be grateful to people who try to help us out. Like the carpenter, he tried to help Pinocchio in shaping his personality. Now let us have a quick recap so that you can narrate this story to your friends also. This story is about Pinocchio, and it was initially a strange piece of wood that the carpenter carved and made into a puppet. And as soon as it started getting life, eyes, hands, legs, it started doing mischievous things, and the carpenter decided to name this strange piece of puppet as Pinocchio. He also decided to send Pinocchio to school so that he can learn good things. And when the carpenter inquired whether Pinocchio went to school or not, he lied. Okay. And at the end of the story, his nose became so long after doing all those naughty things that he got fed up, and he decided that now I will become a very good boy and I will not lie or do anything rude to anybody. So this was the beautiful story. Now I have one very interesting home assignment for you, and each one of my student can write all the answers according to his or her own vocabulary. This is a word Pinocchio. It is a long word. Now can you make some words using these letters without repeating them, and it can be in any sequence? Would you like to try, ma'am?
Okay. We can take pin
Try to
out of
take
it, right?
any 2-3 letters, 2 letters, 3 letters, 4 letters, and try to make words.
We can have pin, right?
Exactly, pin. Any other?
Q.
What?
Q. It's CHIO.
Try another one.
Can you guess?
It could be no, it could be on. I'm giving you a small trick.
Okay.
You said pin, or you said pin.
Huh.
Now you just reverse the letters. It could be nip.
Nip.
Okay.
Okay.
If you say no, reverse the letters. It would be on.
So we can make any
Any-
short alphabet we can say.
Yes,
Word we can say.
Yes. Now you see, this is the long list.
Hmm.
Words that we can make. See how many words are there?
Oh.
Pin, nip, hop, pinch, inch, on, no, hip, chop, coin, iconic, picnic, coop, chip and in.
There are so many.
Yes. So how did you like the story?
Ma'am, it's really quite interesting. Quite interesting, I would say, because it's a word and he's talking and he's doing mischievous things. It's quite a amazing story, I would like to say that. But ma'am, here I would like to ask you about the other thing or activities that our learner can do from this story.
Yes, what
because we still have 3 more minutes left for this session.
Yes.
What else
what
you would
you
like
can
to
do is in the assignment I have given you one more question. You can rehearse the story in front of the camera through
so
loud
we can
reading.
do a role play.
You
in
can
class?
do role play, you can do story narration, you can make your own Pinocchio, you can use a hand puppet and tell the story either in dramatization form. You can ask your friend to become a carpenter and you can play Pinocchio, or you can play the carpenter, your friend can become Pinocchio and you can dramatize the lesson.
Okay.
And you can also what you can do is different students will write different lines and then they can assemble the story in the correct order. Okay. Apart from this, what you can do is you can ask your friends to find all the nouns in the lesson. Okay. You can find all the pronouns in the lesson. Different parts of speech, you can just play it as a game, vocabulary game you can play, parts of speech game you can play, and in this way, and in the next chapter, in the next session, we are going to do all the exercises one by one. We will discuss the question answers and we will discuss prefixes, suffixes. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So ma'am, at the end, could you please explain about some characteristics of Pinocchio at the end?
Okay.
In a brief.
At the end, Pinocchio, he realized his mistake.
Okay.
This is a very nice and
so realization is very much important,
virtue
right?
that everyone should have. You may become naughty, you may do something wrong, but it is very important to realize your mistake and mend your ways, like the way Pinocchio did. And one more virtue that is very important is forgiveness. The carpenter, he kept on, he was the victim of all those naughty things that he was doing, Pinocchio was doing, but at the end he forgave him. So these two virtues, I would like everybody, my students, every viewer to learn, that you must know how to forgive and how to realize your own mistake.
Right. So there are so many learning from this single story, and we would like you to follow all those virtues, right? You need to be kindful and you need to be grateful, and you have to express your gratitude towards each and every person. So ma'am, it's time for us to wrap up this session here only. But Deepa ma'am, thank you so very much for being with us. Thank you ma'am.
Thank you for having me here once again.
Pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much for this wonderful story and for the wonderful explanation. Now here, let me tell all the viewers that in a short while we will be back with our another live interaction. So in a while we will be back with our online training program session at 4 o'clock, and the topic would be audio and video resources for the teaching and learning of science. At 5 o'clock we will be back with the Sahyog session, and the topic would be impact of sustainable consumption of environment. And with this these information, let me share some certain information about the competition that we are having right now. The All India Children's Educational E-Content Competition is back for the year 2024-25. We invite teacher educators, students and independent educational e-content creators to submit their best e-content for the competition. For further detail and the registration form, please visit our website, that is www.ciet.ncert.gov.in, or either you can scan this particular QR code on your television screen. And the final date for the submission is 31st of December 2024. 31st of December is quite important date, and it's time for me to wrap up this session. Me, Renu Bhatt, is taking your leave, but you stay tuned to PMeVIDYA channels for more informative programs. Namaskar.